welcome back into Bronco and the Pig. It is your host and my co-host. I am Cooper, the pig, and I'm always here with the lovely Delaney, the Bronco. How are things in Boise country? It is a big night. It is a big night for us. How are things in Boise country right now?
It's a huge night, actually. I'm not gonna lie, I have to show you something first. So, I had to scour campus to find a place to record. So, I
Uh-huh.
have this huge old classroom all by myself. So, I might get kicked out because
Okay.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be in here.
That's all
But
right.
Boise's going crazy about what's going on this evening, actually.
Yes. Well, in a very short time, because it
Mhm.
is Friday, March 8th. It is the final game of the season for the Mountain West Conference, which the Mountain West hosts my alumni, SDSU, Go Aztecs, and Delaney, the Broncos, the Boise State Broncos. And they just so happen to be playing on senior night in San Diego. Unfortunately, I could not go to the game. I'm very
Mhm.
disappointed in myself. But it doesn't have as much weight as what we had talked about last week. Unfortunately, both Boise and SGCU lost last week,
Mhm.
so the game doesn't really matter other than seeding in the conference tournament. But
Yeah.
in the
And bragging
Kune
rights.
and the Kune household, the bragging rights are everything. So Boise State won the last one, but SDSU is a whopping, I believe they're 15-0 at home. They've never lost at home this year. So
That's crazy.
it's pretty crazy. Well, anyways, we are into our newest episode, Friday, March 8th. We're only 2 weeks away from March Madness Selection Sunday. Delaney, how excited are you for college basketball and Selection Sunday with conference tournaments starting?
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what's it called? Selection Sunday?
Selection Sunday.
Oh,
It's
Selection Sunday.
yeah, it's when they choose the bracket. It's called
Oh,
Selection Sunday.
okay.
Yes.
Well, then
It's when
I'm
they
very excited about that.
yes. It's when they announce the bracket. But more importantly, as of I believe it was Tuesday, we had our first March conference tournament game. The
Mhm.
if let me check my notes here really quick. It was the Atlantic Sun Conference, and I'm gonna give you a tip. So this week we're gonna have a bunch of conference championship games. I want you for your game of the week next week on March 10th. So that's
Mhm.
what is that Sunday? Sunday.
Yeah.
Two schools you or I have never heard of are going to be playing in the Atlantic Sun championship game, basketball
Okay.
game, and the winner goes to March Madness. That's how the conference tournament works. If
Okay.
you win your conference tournament, you get it automatically in. Well, these are two schools that have no business being a March Madness, but if they win, they're going to be probably a 16 seed, maybe a 15 seed. Let me tell you, some of these championship games between these tiny schools
They're
are
intense.
they're fun to watch because this is it. This they get to go. They get to go play in March Madness. This is what they
Okay.
dream of. So that
I'll
is my
watch that. That
advice.
sounds good.
That are my it is March 10th, so Sunday. It is Stetson University versus Austin P University or PA.
Stimpy. Oh,
I don't know how
PA.
to PA. I don't know how to pronounce
Interesting.
it. So can't tell you anything about them. But
Well, I'll keep an eye out. That sounds kind of funny.
yeah, but it's been an eventful week. A lot of football drama, and I know football's not in season, but we're gonna talk a lot of football, and I got a nice little drama story for you, and I know you have no knowledge of what I'm gonna tell you, so I get
Okay.
a live input. Baseball is only a couple weeks away from opening day, and of course, basketball and hockey, the NBA and hockey are in full swing. Uh, but let's get right into our 5 stories of the week. And we have to start with Mr. Jason Kelsey, the saddest retirement speech I've ever seen. Delaney, how did you feel about Jason Kelsey's retirement?
I saw so many people talking about it that I finally sat down and watched the whole thing. And even I got a little choked up. It
Yeah,
was sad. And I
I
must say, maybe I haven't been around the sports game for that long. I have never seen that many people talking about a single person retiring.
I mean, if you compare him to, Tom Brady retiring. Now Tom Brady is a little different because he retired twice technically. But you look at his retirement, you look at Kobe Bryant's retirement, you look at Derek Jeter in baseball's retirement. I have to agree with you. I don't think I've ever seen another player like so much love for him and like
Exactly,
gratitude,
yeah.
even by opposing fans. I mean, I saw Cowboy fans saying how much they love Jason Kelsey, and that's like the ultimate rivalry there. His speech was great. He's probably the most popular person in America. Like
Mhm.
his connection to Travis and then his connection to Taylor Swift and their podcast and all that stuff is he's killing it right now. I'm interested to see where he goes. I think he's got a future in
I hope so.
the podcast and all sorts of stuff.
I hope
But
we keep seeing him around. Like, I have a feeling he's going to be at a lot of Travis Kelsey's games, which
oh,
I
but
want to see.
he'll probably be at
But
all of them.
I don't know. I
Um,
hope he gets like some sort of like special. I don't know if that's like a something on ESPN or like some
oh, you
sort
mean
of
like a
TV
like
show, but I want more of him.
like a Manning cast? Like he had a
Yeah,
Manning cast?
I could see something
That's
like
not a
that.
bad idea. I mean, yeah, maybe that'd be pretty cool. It'd be cool is if he did the Hard Knocks, like if he was a host for Hard Knocks on HBO. The where they followed the team,
Oh,
they followed the
yeah,
team around. Like
yeah.
if he went and he was kind of like a host of it.
I could see that. Or what's that show on? I think it was on Netflix where it follows the high school uh
Oh, Last
football
Chance
teams.
You,
Yeah,
Last Chance
I
You.
could see him doing something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Jason Kelsey's too nice of a guy to like, I don't know, do one of those Hard Knocks documentary, you know?
Yeah, but that's like yeah. I see what you're saying. I don't know what he has in store. I know he's going to stay in the sports world. He's probably going to go into broadcasting or something. It's what they all do. But I don't think I've ever seen someone as loved as him. And a
Hmm.
big congrats to him on his retirement. I guess we could talk about the speech. What did you think about the speech? Was it too much?
No, I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I liked how he like shouted out his teammates like
yeah,
individually, you know?
yeah,
I thought that was nice. And all the stuff about like him like talking to Travis Kelsey and about like them growing up and no, oh, the part that really got me was when I forget exactly what he says, but when he talks about when Travis Kelsey won the Super Bowl when it was against the Eagles and
yeah,
how he was like so proud. I forget exactly what he says, but that
yeah.
part, yeah, that got me choked up.
Oh yeah. Well, like you could tell that his connection with Travis is unbelievable. So,
Hmm.
congrats on retirement, and it was a probably the perfect way of retiring, of going out, and now he gets to be with his three daughters and his wife.
Hmm.
So, excited to see where he goes. But that had to be our first story because it was everywhere. It was
Yeah.
literally everywhere. I don't think I've ever seen a retirement like that. So, second story came out, I think it was yesterday, and it came out recently. And my immediate thought is it's going to be very lopsided. Jake Paul announced that he's going to fight Mike Tyson, and I think Mike Tyson is going to blow Jake Paul out of the water. That is what I believe. What do you think, Delaney?
I'm honestly just confused how Jake Paul went from this like scrawny YouTuber that everyone hated to like a professional fighter. Because I don't know anything about fighting, but I do know Mike Tyson is pretty freaking good. So I feel like
Yeah.
that says a lot.
Well, Mike Tyson is probably the second greatest boxer of all time, behind Muhammad Ali. I mean,
Oh
you
wow.
could make an argument like Floyd Mayweather's in there and Manny Pacquiao's in there, and Deontay Wilder and all them. Mike
Hmm.
Tyson is a different breed. And I want you to, I don't know if you've seen him. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but I want you to
Yeah.
go look at, have you seen videos of him like training recently?
Oh, not training. I've seen videos of him like talking about Jake Paul. And I don't want to judge a book by its cover, but even the way he looks, I would be so scared. He would kick
Well,
my butt.
well, after we're, yeah, he could kill you. After we're done with, after we're done with this, go look
Uh-huh.
at some of the videos of him training recently. And
Oh God.
the sheer power that Mike Tyson has is scary. Jake Paul's got a handful. I can never tell how good of a fighter Jake Paul is because
Mhm.
he's a YouTuber. It's like
Yeah.
I can't get a gauge on it, and I would kind of like Mike Tyson to knock him off his pedestal because
I hope he like knocks him out like first or second round.
just
That's what I
cold,
want to see.
yeah,
Yeah.
just cold. Well, that I believe it's in July. It's not until July, so when it gets closer, we'll talk about it a little more, and maybe we'll watch it. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh my god, I hope Tyson just kicks his ass. So mad. Story number 3, moving on, is kind of a story that you and I know nothing about. I don't know anything about this. I don't know. I mean, I know that it's racing, Formula One racing. I know you just got to be the first car to pass the finish line. That's all I know. I can't tell you any of the rules. I can't tell you what's good, what's bad. But everything I see is about Max Verstappen, and he is literally just dominating the sport. It is pretty impressive. It's comparable to Tom Brady, Tiger Woods. I
Mm.
mean, Patrick Mahomes. It's impressive. It's impressive. Have you seen anything about Max Verstappen?
Honestly, no. I saw that you said he like won a race by like 22 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, so the first race was a couple of days ago, the first race of the
Mhm.
season, and he won by 22 and a half seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot,
Uh-huh.
but that's a ton in racing.
Well, no, I
A
agree.
ton.
Like in uh what's it even called? What's this sport called? Like speed racing?
Speed race.
Like
Oh, Formula One.
like
Formula One.
oh, Formula 1.
Yeah.
Like those cars
It's
go pretty fast. So I could imagine like 22 seconds to me that's like basically a full lap. Like in my
yeah,
mind.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know anything about the sport. I do know
Mhm.
those cars go incredibly fast. Yes.
Yeah.
And it is a very they crash a lot and it's a very intense sport. I like it better than NASCAR. That's for sure.
I
NASCAR you
don't
just go
even
in
know what the difference.
NASCAR you go in a circle. And NASCAR you have like the circular cars. It looks like
Oh,
a
oh, Formula 1 is like a track,
yeah.
like through the streets.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now.
Like you ever watch the movie Cars 2?
Yeah.
That's kind of like what Formula 1 is.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah, well, now I
Yeah.
got it because I have a picture.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just think of Cars 2 and Max Verstappen is Lightning McQueen. That's like the
Well,
best way
that's
to put it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, hey, good for him. He won the Grand Slam on the first race. I don't even know there was a Grand Slam, but I looked it up
Yeah,
and he won it. So,
well, yeah, I've never heard of a Grand Slam, but I'm proud of him and I'm a
yeah,
fan.
we're fans. We're fans of Max Verstappen. Okay. Next story that I saw, and this is incredible. It's another time thing, and we're not very good with time because we don't know like we have no concept of time. But Xavier Worthy, of I think he's a wide receiver. He broke the record for the fastest 40-yard dash at the combine. And we're
Mhm.
gonna talk about the combine later. This is where our little drama about football
Okay.
gets all stirred up. Okay, but Xavier Worthy, he had the fastest time ever, 4.21 seconds. Did you watch the video I sent you?
Yeah, I saw
He was moving. Oh my
it.
god, he was like gliding across the field. Holy crap! I didn't know someone could run that fast. That is insane. That is
I'm
insane.
gonna be honest. When I watched a video of this 40-yard dash like world record, I wasn't that impressed. And here's why. because I have nothing to compare it to. So what
I'm
I
gonna
want
send
to
you
do
another
is
one.
I want to run the 40-yard dash myself. And I want to see my time and see how it compares to the world record. Then
This
I
one.
will be impressed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna send you a video here in a second. This person, he's a defensive lineman from Florida State. His name is Braden Fisk. Okay, I just sent it to you on Instagram. Okay,
Okay.
he is 297 pounds, and
Uh-huh.
he's like 6'9".
Oh.
Look how
See?
fast! Look how fast that man is. He ran a 4.78. He is 297 pounds.
See, I just like to me I watch this video and I'm like, yeah, you're running fast, but I want to see how fast I could do it. And
You're
then
probably doing it in 7 seconds. They're doing it in 4.
you think 7 seconds? I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I haven't seen you run in a long time, but like
I just have a hard time
I'm
because I
probably doing it maybe under 6,
I
like
don't
five
know.
and a
I
half,
I want to
maybe.
see them
That's
like
fast though.
I just want to see them pick someone out of the crowd, like
All
a
right, to put it
civilian,
this
a
way.
fan,
No, no, no.
and
Put it
have
this
them
way.
run side by side. Then I could
Put it put it
appreciate
this
it.
way. Okay, here I got a good
Okay.
example for you. In high school, I ran a 40-yard dash. I used to do it
Okay.
at scouting tryouts and stuff like that for baseball
Mhm.
when I went to visit colleges and stuff to make you run a 40
Yeah.
yard dash. Okay, I was running 5.4 ish,
Okay.
5.5, 5.4, which I was pretty. I was like I wasn't super fast, but I wasn't super slow in high school.
Yeah.
So, but he did it in 4.21, and this
Yeah. I see what you're
297
saying
pound.
now.
That's
I see what you're
and
saying.
40 yards isn't a ton of room. So to like the difference from 4.21 and 5.4 is pretty big gap.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
I just want to see. I want to do it. That's the
We'll
thing
run
is
one.
I want
We'll
to do it.
run one.
Okay.
We'll run.
Okay.
Okay. We'll run one, and we'll do a time. We'll get a time, so then you
Okay.
get some appreciation, and we'll film it. Okay.
Okay. I
All
like
right.
that idea.
All right. All right. Deal. All right. Moving on. Did you see the other video I sent you? This selfie stick celebration by this hockey kid.
Yes, and I loved it. I
Oh
think
my
it's the favorite
god.
thing I've seen all week. It
It
was
it is
awesome.
it's the greatest. It is by far the greatest thing this week. The
Mhm.
celebration. Okay, so high school hockey. First of all, high school hockey looked awesome. Did you see the students and like it was
Yeah,
going nuts
they
and stuff?
looked really into it.
Yeah. They're from Cretin Durtham Hall High School or something like that. Cretin Detham Hall High School.
Okay.
And dude scores a goal, goes down the ice, sticks his glove up on his stick, and acts like a selfie. That is by far the best, and I love the reason I love it so much is because those high school kids were like talking about like,
Going
oh,
crazy. Yeah.
we gotta have a cool celebration.
After watching Hard Knocks, they did like a little segment of them like practicing their celebration. I want
Yeah,
to see those high school kids practicing the selfie stick and coming up with it. Because that it's so good. It's so good. I would
yeah.
be talking about that for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, and I
That
love
was
how the other teammates come like gliding in from the side
yeah.
because it's just him. It's just him like this with the deuces up, and then the other two kids just come gliding in behind him. I'm like, that is so
Exactly.
sick. That's so sick. Oh man, I saw it. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've seen. Greatest celebration
Mhm.
I've seen by far.
I
All right.
agree. I really liked
Well,
it.
well, that wraps up our stories, our 5 stories. Okay. We're gonna go into Delaney. Your game of the week. What do you got for me? Is it another Boise State basketball game? Because this is the last one
No,
tonight.
it's not. And I'm actually kind of excited about this because shout out my Uber driver because he was the one who told me about this. He told me about Idaho's hockey team. I didn't even know we
Oh,
had one of those. But
hockey. There you go.
it's the Idaho Steelheads and they play in the AA minor hockey league. So I don't
Yeah,
really know what
that's
that means.
that's
So
the
what is
minor
that?
leagues. It's like the minor
Okay,
league.
so it's like
It,
a step below
yeah, yeah. So you know how in baseball you have like the major
major
leagues, then
league.
you have
Yeah.
triple A, double A. It's the same system.
Oh,
but for
okay.
hockey.
Well, they had a game last Saturday night, and they played Utah, and they won 3-1. And
Nice.
the only reason I heard about this is because I was driving through downtown. These fans were decked out. Like
Really?
they look like they were into it. So I feel like now I have to pay more attention to this hockey
Idaho
team.
Steelheads, you said?
Yeah.
It's because San Diego has a minor league hockey team too. They're called the
Oh.
San Diego Gulls, but it's like seagulls, not like scoring
Oh.
goals. Yeah, I
Hmm.
didn't like it. I like
I
their
mean,
jerseys, but
it's kind of cheesy,
yeah,
but I'll be keeping an eye on the steelheads because now
the
I'm kind of
Steelheads.
interested. Yeah.
Hey, my wife and I, Sarah, we went to the Golden Knights game last night. The Golden Knights
Oh,
hockey game.
I remember. I've heard about that. Was it
Yeah,
any good?
yeah, it's awesome. So much fun.
Hmm.
So much fun to watch. So, all right, hey, nice find. All right, moving on. Time for some sport to sport, and we're gonna start as always with football. Football, it is the off season, so it's tough to find things to talk about with football. The past couple weeks, we've passed up on it, but I'm just gonna run through some quick things that have happened here the NFL. We had the big one. They announced that Russell Wilson's going to be released in the next couple weeks, so that's the big move. Mike Evans re-signed with the Bucks. Zach Ertz went to Washington. Johnny Smith went to the Dolphins. Trubisky went to the Bills. They had a couple people getting on executive tagged, and Schultz re-signed with the Houston Texans. Kind of wraps up everything that's going on in the league. Now, Delaney, I'm going to set something up for you, and you got to pay attention because it's a high level sports. This is high level sports talk that we're going to get into. Okay,
Okay.
so the big talk for the NFL is the NFL draft, and that is coming up in April. I believe it's April 20 something, 24, 25, somewhere in there. Well, there's quite a few teams in the NFL that need a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback, or if they do, he sucks. So they need a new one. And one of the teams that has a quarterback but is thinking about getting rid of their quarterback and getting a new one is the Chicago Bears. Well, the Chicago
Okay.
Bears have the first pick in the NFL draft, so they get to choose anyone they want. And pretty much everyone in the entire country thinks it's going to be the quarterback from USC. His name is Caleb Williams. Well,
Okay.
Caleb Williams, to be nice, is a dickhead. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
he is not very well liked.
Okay.
He he is the first player in NFL Combine history. So, of any player that's ever entered the draft, he's the first one ever to decline to do a medical test. So he didn't do any medical tests. He said
Okay.
He'll only do it for certain teams. He's not releasing his medical records. First player
Okay.
ever. Okay. He also went to the combine. So the combine is where they do the dash and they do like
Mhm.
drills and they show off their skills. He went to the combine, but he didn't do anything at the combine. He just went. He didn't run. He
He
didn't
just like
pass.
stood there.
He just kind of showed up and did the interviews and talked to people and talked to the scouts. But he didn't throw a
Okay.
single pass and he didn't do a single run. Nothing.
Okay.
Well, during the interview, he came out and he said, "I have 30 games in college that you can go watch. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to show off my skills. Go watch my games."
Mhm.
My question to you is just off this very limited information about what you know about Caleb Williams, what is your opinion on him?
I
Because
hope
everyone in the
not.
world thinks he's going to be number one.
I hope not a single team picks him up. Honestly. Like I don't even know this guy, never heard of his name. I hate him. He sucks. Like
he's
honestly.
I think he's going to get picked number 1, unfortunately.
Really.
But I
Is
don't think it's
he
going to be
really
by
that
the
good?
I don't think so, but everybody does. Everybody thinks he's amazing. Everybody thinks he's like this god ridden like person. Have
Okay.
you ever seen the movie Draft Day?
Yeah, I have. I actually just watched it.
Yeah. Well, he's Bo Callahan. He's the quarterback that like everyone talks
Okay.
about. Okay. That
Okay.
is who he is.
I
Okay.
see.
He
And wait,
I
I have to say, in that movie, how did it turn out for Bo Callahan? That's
You're
all I'm
right.
saying. That's all
You're
I'm
right.
saying.
You're right.
So,
So I have to. I don't know. I don't think the Bears are going to take him. What I want the Bears to do, because the Bears have won, is I
mhm,
want because there's a lot of talk that they're gonna trade the first pick away to another team so that they can have him because they have a
yeah,
quarterback. Justin Fields is a pretty good quarterback. He's not bad. I think he's serviceable. So there's a lot of talk that they like a wide receiver, that they're going to take a wide receiver, Mr.
okay.
Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm throwing a lot of names at you. Sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm not gonna remember them, but okay.
no, it's fine. But the Bears, there's a lot of talk that they want the wide receiver as well. So what I would like them to do is I would like the Bears to take Marvin Harrison one, so they keep the pick, but they use it on someone else. So then Caleb Williams loses out on all the special money and the special
Yeah.
like privileges of being one overall and all that stuff.
I just don't understand why any team would want a player with that big of an ego. Honestly.
I
Like, do you know
agree.
how that just seems terrible in the locker room, in the practice? How are you gonna coach this person? Like,
Well,
clearly they don't want it. They don't want to be there. So this I
well,
don't even know this guy, but he pisses me off.
well,
Like,
when another video you could go watch is go watch his interview, and you'll see him, and you'll hit him. So I agree with you. If you look back in NFL history, none of these quarterbacks work out. None of these quarterbacks, like they all have this massive ego. They think they're the shit.
yeah,
And I mean, you look at Cam Newton. He thought he was the hottest thing since sliced bread. He had a couple good years, and then he just fell off. Talk about Baker Mayfield. He kind of went in there with a big ego, and he struggled. Johnny Manziel,
yeah.
same thing. It's a combination of talent and attitude and work ethic. Well, he's
I
missing he's missing a couple of them. So if
and
you
also, what is like the actual likelihood of them picking up this quarterback and him starting his first season?
very very likely, it's not like
Really?
baseball. Yeah, it's not like
Oh,
baseball or like hockey, football and basketball. When you get drafted, you're pretty much going right in.
oh wow. Okay, because I imagined like he had this big ego to get drafted and sit on the bench. I would be happy with that as well.
Yeah.
But I also hope not a single team picks him up.
Well, that's not gonna happen. I promise you that. But yeah, it's not like baseball where you get drafted, you go to like the minor leagues and you got to work your way up. It's
Mm,
nope. There he wherever he goes, he's gonna be the
he's gonna
guy
be
right away.
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't like that.
I think he's gonna go to Denver. I think the Broncos are gonna trade for the first pick and they're gonna take him. That's my opinion, but who knows, honestly. All right, enough football talk. Real quick, baseball is spring training's in full swing. There's been a couple transactions, couple injuries, couple things. I'm just gonna run through it really quick. There's not really any baseball news or major drama or anything like that. Um, just spring training is going on. Opening day is the 28th, so we got 20 days until opening day. We got real baseball. So I'm just gonna run through it really quick. Today, Joey Votto signed with the Blue Jays. Ryan Stanek signed with the Mariners. Zach Wheeler and Brian Bello both signed contract extensions. And Matt Chapman signed with the Giants last week. A couple injuries. Lucas Giolito could miss the entire season. Verlander will start on this injured list. And Mason Thompson will have Tommy John surgery and miss the entire season as well. And then the big news that dropped today, the Reds infielder Noelvi Marte was suspended for 80 games for taking steroids, PEDs.
Oh my
Like,
god.
how does that happen? Like
To be honest, I
we're
didn't know people still did that.
yeah. I mean, it happens every year. There's always one or two players that get popped, and it's like, how do you let it happen? Hey, 80 games, that's half your season. So,
Yeah, that's
well,
insane.
but that's all I have for baseball. We're gonna go into college basketball, which is kind of the bulk of our time right now because of March Madness. So, college basketball, the conference tournaments we talked about at the beginning have started. Most of them start this weekend into next week. It is, in my opinion, the best time of the year for sports. It is so much fun. Any team can win. The buzzer beaters, the storming the court, the fans, the small schools taking down big schools, the David versus Goliath. Where are you at with college basketball? Are you? This is a high level question.
Okay.
How are you looking at this year's March Madness tournament?
Like, what do you mean? How am I picking teams?
Yeah, give me. Are there some teams that stand out to you? I know you mentioned it last week, but I'm curious
Hmm.
if there's some teams that still stand out to you.
Well, I recently learned that University of North Carolina, they're called like the School of Champions or something like that, right?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm
I've never.
making that up.
You
But
might be. I've never heard the
I think both the Carolina teams are gonna be great.
South
I
Carolina and
just
North Carolina.
yes, I just
Yeah.
have a gut feeling. So I want to take
Well,
them far.
North Carolina is very good, and South Carolina is also should be in the tournament. I don't know how good they're
Hmm.
going to be, but they should be in the tournament. So that's some good insight. I think this year is the year of um non-blue bloods. So a blue blood is like there's like this group of schools that are always good, and you always see them, you always talk about them, and they're all blue. You got Duke,
Um,
North Carolina, Kansas, Villanova, UConn, Creighton. There's a whole
yeah,
bunch of. I think this is the year where the non-blue bloods do well, and I think
I like the
you
sound of that.
you got Purdue,
Hmm.
who's always struggling. You got Houston, who's a smaller school. You got Tennessee is really good. I think Auburn's really good. I think the entire Mountain West is really good. The Mountain West might get 7 teams in. That's crazy. That is
Wow.
crazy. And so,
I would like to see a non-blue blood. I think that sounds cool. I'm
yeah,
sick of like Duke and UConn winning. I feel like I always hear their names.
yeah, they are always in it. Kentucky's always in it. Well, I found this the other day. So there's in the college basketball world, there's it's called Ken Palm. It's called Ken
Okay.
Palm. Okay. It is basically a giant database for all of college basketball, and it keeps track of every stat you can think of. Literally any
Okay.
stat in college basketball you can think of. Well, they started it in 2001 or 2002, somewhere in there. They track what's called efficiency. So how efficient a team is on offense and how efficient a team is on defense. Okay.
Okay.
So on offense, it's pretty simple. How many times are you taking it up the court? How many times are you scoring? Pretty simple. If they take it up the court 80 times a game and they score 60 times a game, your efficiency is 60 out of 80, which is three-fourths.
Hmm.
Okay. Super simple math. Defense, same way. How many times are people coming and shooting against you? How many times are they scoring? Same thing. Well, there's a stat out there. Every single national champion, every single March Madness winner since Ken Palm was invented, so
Hmm.
2001, 2002, has been in the top 57 in offense and top 37 in defense. So they've been
Um.
top 57, top 37. So you can use that to say, okay, it's got to be one of these teams. These are the only
Hmm.
teams that can win it, according to the stats. I mean,
Yeah.
it's happened every single year since it was invented. There's 22 teams that meet that criteria. There's only 22 teams that meet that criteria. Okay.
Is it Boise
Uh,
State?
Boise State and SDSU are two of them. So
Wow.
that is exciting. So you got like Purdue, UConn, Arizona, the big guys. You got small
Mhm.
schools in there like St. Mary's, uh,
Mm.
Washington State, Michigan State, Colorado State. A lot of Mountain West. Like I said, a lot of Mountain West. North Carolina. Now I'm gonna take it a step further. Okay,
Okay.
so you have top 57, top 37, right?
Yeah.
Well, I saw the other stat. Only one time since Kempom has been created, it's always been 57, 37, but only one time has it been outside of 21 in offense.
Oh, okay.
So so that narrows it down even smaller. So now
Yes.
they have to be top 21 and
21.
top 37.
Okay.
So, using that knowledge,
Okay.
there's only 10 teams, okay?
Oh, okay.
So, when you're filling out your bracket, remember these 10 teams because they're the only ones that meet that criteria, okay?
Criteria. Yeah.
Purdue, UConn, Arizona, Duke, Creighton, Houston, Auburn, Tennessee, Marquette, and North Carolina are the only 10 teams that meet that criteria. Now, I guess it technically could change. It could change. I mean, you have games tonight, you have games tomorrow, you have a couple more games up until March Madness is set, Selection Sunday. But those are your 10 teams that you're looking at to win the March Madness tournament.
I
Doesn't mean
just
a
feel
team like
like
Boise or SGSU can go off like last year.
the the teams you just listed, the 10, I feel like I'm just sick of them. I those are the teams that you always hear about.
Yeah.
So, I don't
Well,
know.
and
But that is really interesting.
it is interesting. And you look at it every year. I mean, there's always those teams that make runs. I mean, you look at last year, SGSU, a 5 seed, a
Mhm.
smaller school when it comes to sports, kind of a nobody. I mean, nobody really thought they'd go anywhere. They go all the way to the championship. They had an amazing run and it was special and it's going to be remembered forever, especially here in San
Mhm.
Diego.
Yeah,
But they still lost to one of those teams. So
that's true.
it's you get these small schools that are just go off and they get hot and they beat these big schools and they make these crazy runs. They do all this, but when you get down to that final four,
That
that final game, the final four, the final championship game, at
Mhm.
the end of the day, it's always one of those big schools, the one of
Yeah.
those that can avoid the upset. That's pretty much what it is. It's which big school will avoid the upset. I mean, UConn won it last year. They're a big basketball school. They've been a little crappy the last couple years, but they are a big basketball school. You look at Villanova, Duke, Kentucky, Kansas. I mean, they're always in that conversation of the best of in the country. It's a question of which of which of those 10 teams that are listed are going to avoid the upset. Which one are they going to
Yeah,
sneak through the cracks and get to the end?
I agree.
Um, it's March Madness is by far the best, and go Aztecs tonight. So that's all we got. That's all we got on college basketball. Delaney, it is time for your mascot of the week. What you got? What you got? You got me something good?
I think so. But okay, let me give some backstory. I like
Backstory.
this mascot because of the stories that go along with it.
Okay.
Okay? So, according to actually ESPN, this is the most hated mascot in sports. It's
Really?
the crazy crab for the San Francisco Giants back in the 80s.
In the 80s, the San
Yeah,
Francisco Giants crazy crab.
crazy crab. So,
All right.
I heard that this was some like marketing scheme, but basically all the fans hated him, hated this crazy crab. They would throw beer
Okay.
cans like every second he walked out on the field. And the best part, I think you're gonna like this. The San Diego Padres, they attacked this crazy crab and
Oh my
like
god.
injured him during one of the games.
Really?
So this poor guy, I don't I feel like I must be missing something on why they all hate him. but I couldn't find anything. So this poor crab is just
1984.
getting all these hate. Yeah,
That's crazy. I've never heard of this, and I'm a huge baseball fan. Like I've never heard of
I
that.
know.
But to be fair, the sorry, excuse my language. The costume is terrifying.
Yeah, it's really bad. But
It's
have you ever heard
awful.
of players attacking a mascot and like actually hurting him?
Did they say why they attacked him?
No, I couldn't find like I saw an article like ESPN wrote about how it's like the most hated mascot, but they were just
Huh.
talking about how it was like a marketing thing. Yeah. I don't know if I'm like missing something or what, but I thought the San Diego Padres attacking the mascot was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard of that, but good find. I like that one. Crazy crab.
Thanks.
Hmm. Yeah, it's terrifying. The costume is awful. So, good find, good find. You're gonna start having to reach out and try to find some random stuff out there because
I know. It's
you're
gonna
gonna
get
just use all
harder.
the good one. Yeah, you're gonna use all the good ones up. All right, and as always, to finish up our episode, the final question of the week. I love this one, and it makes you think. You think there's an obvious answer,
Hmm.
but it makes you start to think a little bit. Okay, and I have an answer that's gonna maybe shock some people, but
Okay.
I have reasoning for it, okay? So the question is, you are stuck on a deserted island, okay? And you have 5 professional athletes with you, but they all have to be from the same sport. What sport are you choosing to provide your 5 athletes? And then we'll even shake it up a little bit. You don't get to choose who the 5 athletes are. It's 5 random
Okay.
athletes from that sport. What
Okay.
sport are you choosing? I'm curious what you have to say.
See, to me, the obvious answer was football because I thought, oh, they could like protect me if like someone or something attacks me, you know?
Yeah.
But if I'm on a deserted island, I'm going into survival mode. I have to find food, I have to build a shelter, I have to do all these things, somehow get rescued. So I went with basketball. And
And
here's my
why did you go with
reason.
basketball? Okay.
Because I was thinking, I was like, some like coconuts. Maybe they could like,
Oh, they're
they're tall
tall?
guys. They
Yeah.
could, And then same thing for like getting like wood to make my shelter.
Hmm.
And I thought they could like get on each other's shoulders and like they would have, this is so stupid. They would have a better chance of like waving down a like plane or something because
A
they're
plane or
taller.
a ship?
Yeah,
Ah,
you
okay.
know?
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so I I also thought football is the obvious answer.
Hmm.
Like you said, protection. You got to be able to build a shelter. They can move like rocks, and they're
Yeah.
big dudes.
Hmm.
And then I started to think, I was like, well, big guys like that, they got to eat a lot to
Oh,
survive.
true. True.
So we're gonna have to hunt quite a
Okay.
bit to feed 5 football players. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, then I started to think, well, who's good, like handy stuff, building stuff and creating. Who's creative? Who's good at like hand-eye coordination and can
Uh-huh.
tie stuff down and stuff like that. So I went with hockey. I went with hockey. I feel like one, hockey players are big, they're strong.
Hmm. But they aren't
Um,
too big where they're gonna eat
yes,
all your food. Okay.
yes. I also feel like hockey players, they come from like a weird like background. Like you don't get a lot of hockey players that are kind of like from LA or like
Yeah.
kind of hipstery. You got like hockey players are usually like backwoods,
Yeah.
like
Okay, I get what you mean.
they go hunting, they go
Uh-huh.
fishing. That's like their thing. But they also, I don't know if you know this, but like hockey players, they like tape up their sticks all the time, and they like tape up their
Oh.
hands and their
Yeah.
gloves and stuff. I don't know. I feel like hockey players would be like. I also feel like hockey players are always like down to have a good time. They're always like drinking and having
They're
fun and
always like
stuff.
joking around. I
Yeah.
agree. Okay. That's
So
actually pretty smart.
I went with
I didn't
hockey.
think about the rapping thing and like having to
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
smart.
Another one would be like baseball, because baseball is like, I don't really know. It's such a hard question. I want someone who's a good cook. That's what I want. Like
Yeah,
someone that
me
could just
too.
whip up something out of nothing. All right. Well, that wraps up our episode. It is we're into the second week of March, and we every day we get closer to opening day baseball. We're 20 days from opening day, and we are even less than that from Selection Sunday, Delaney. Selection Sunday, and March Madness, and the conference tournaments are starting up. Well,
Okay, go
tune in
ahead.
next week. We love the support. We love you guys listening every week. So peace out from Bronco and the Pig. See ya.